It was an early, quiet morning in Palmerville. Trixie had just woken up in her wagon and just had finished her breakfast, and she was getting ready to go to School of Friendship since she was the new guidance counselor there. And it was thanks to Starlight Glimmer who was offered the position as the new guidance counselor, and which Trixie was really happy to. She really took her serious of the title as a guidance counselor. And has been 2 months she started working at the School of Friendship. And just during this 2 months period, she had been helping a lot of the students who were struggling with a lot of things, either at home or at school, or just something, or they, or if they had some struggling with some friendship problems. And since Trixie did have some experience in the past herself, and thanks to that experience, she was a perfect candidate for as a guidance counselor. And this morning when she got to school, she actually ran into Starlight, who was all about to enter the building. Oh hey, oh hey Starlight. Oh, good morning Trixie. You ready to work? You bet. As always. Great. Do you have any, you know, schedules today? Asked Trixie to Starlight. Well, as the new head mayor of the school, and a lot of business it is to take care of. Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, even when I first started, I wasn't really sure if I was, up for all this. I mean, I wasn't really sure if I was even, if this position even fit me as guidance counselor. I mean, I can't say tell what you mean, Trixie, says Starlight. I mean, when Twilight offered me the position to be the new head mayor after her, do you think I felt like, oh yeah, I can easily take over this role? No, you were like more like nervous, like nervous. I'm going to make some lot of mistakes, and Twilight going to replace me, type of things. Am I right? You hit the head on the nail on that one, says Starlight with a smile. But I'm actually very grateful to Twilight to giving me this position. And I don't regret my choice of you being a new guidance counselor. I mean, I knew at the time when you thought I was going to make you the new head mayor or vice head mayor. Starlight was right because Trixie assumed that she was going to be given the position as vice head mayor right away. After all, since she is Starlight's best friend. But after Trixie realized that was not going to happen, she felt devastated. But after she was offered the new position as a guidance counselor, Trixie at the beginning was a little bit hesitating if she's going to fit the role as the guidance counselor. But after giving a few lessons to a few students in the beginning, she started to realize this was actually that she wanted to do. And she realized after just about a few weeks, she started to realize this was something that she really liked to do. After all, she wanted to help other ponies to go through some experience that she had been going through herself. And over time, just in this 2 months period, she was just happy to be helping so many students and even other staff and even other friends, even up after duty at the school. So, do you have any plans for the weekend? Asked Starlight. Um, Not really. Not really. I don't think so, said Trixie. Do you maybe want to do something this weekend with me and maybe someone else? I'll let you know if I can do something. That's right. That works. So the rest of the day, Starlight was taking care of her business. Trixie was helping other students, and no problem with that. But during lunchtime, Starlight was actually having lunch with Trixie and Sunburst. Oh, did you girls hear something about this? What do you mean, Sunburst asked Starlight. And then Sunburst showed a poster. Coloratura is actually going to have a concert here in Ponyville with Charity. Wait, really? When? Is it in about 2 weeks from now? Oh, um, I was wanted to ask you, Starlight, if you maybe want to go there with me. Wait, with me? Uh, yeah, if you're up for it. As a date? Um, yeah, said Sunburst nervously. Starlight sit there just silent, and Trixie like, go for it. I mean, what other times do you have an opportunity to go on a date with the stallion that you really had a crush on? Trixie, you can just not just say like that. I mean, it's completely obvious, Starlight. Every pony knows that you really like Sunburst that much. Wait, every pony? Yep, every pony do know that. It's obvious, isn't it? I mean, even I can tell that Sunburst loves you. And when she said that, Sunburst was blushing a lot. And if this is gonna be your first official date, why not go to a concert? I mean, it's a great opportunity, isn't it? Well, you might have a point, Trixie. Um, well, why not they enjoying it though? After lunch, Trixie went back to her office, and since she didn't have any other schedules for the rest of the afternoon, she just sat there in her room, in her office, just relaxed and read a book of hers. But there was one small detail that she hadn't told anybody, not even her best friend Starlight, is that she had this big crush on Coloratura. She had it for at least a few years now. But she knows that Coloratura is such big celebrity. She is one of the biggest singers in modern history. And she knows that she has absolute no chance to even to be with Coloratura. But sometimes when she listens to some of her music, or even sings some of the songs herself, it feels like she is a step closer to be with Coloratura. But when she heard this Coloratura is gonna be in town within 2 weeks for a concert for charity, she really took this as an opportunity that to at least go to see Coloratura herself. And with the next 2 weeks have passed, the concert was getting closer, and when the day came for the concert, Starlight told Trixie that she and Sunburst are going to the concert as a date, and Trixie just told them just have fun and enjoy the date. Trixie went there herself a little bit later as herself, and she managed to get a spot close to the stage, and she just was having a good time. But after the concert was over, Coloratura actually announced that she was going to give a few selected ponies allowed to be backstage for an autograph and even take a photo with her. And Trixie knows the opportunity and the chance and the odds for that happening with her is a very big chance. But she didn't expect it. But she had the spotlight to hit the ponies that was going to be selected. She was only going to select 12 ponies. And this light was actually going to be blue. And each the light hit will be the ponies that was being selected. After nearly 11 ponies that have been selected, the opportunity and the chance of the odds of her to be the last one is very slim. But suddenly, the light hit Trixie. And Trixie was just like stunned. She was really taken aback that she had just been selected as the 12th final pony to going backstage to meet Coloratura herself. She took herself back to the stage along the other ponies and went in line, and she was nervous. as the line went smaller and smaller, and eventually she was the last to be next to her. And she told Coloratura how much her music had inspired her lately, and that she always sings to her songs so that calm her down, and it really helps her when as the school of friendships guidance counselor, and that she often gives the same advice to some of her students and friends by listening to her music, and that will give her sometimes an advice. Coloratura smiled when Trixie said this. I really appreciated that, Trixie. I really do. And there is one thing I would like to tell you, though, Trixie. What is it? She asked. Is it possible that maybe you have a crush on me? What? How did how did you know that? I haven't told any pony, said Trixie. Well, actually, I can't have a sense that some pony likes me that much. Oh, well, I mean, yes, it's true, but I know there's no possibility for us to even to be together. I mean, you're one of the biggest singers in Equestria, and I'm just like a no pony like to you. So, thanks for the opportunity to talk to you and for this autograph. But before Coloratura could say anything else, Trixie walked out and walked home. She was somehow surprised that Coloratura could somehow sense of her love for her. But after all, Trixie realized Coloratura must have experienced this a lot. After all, since she is one of the biggest singers in the entire kingdom, and since she is having given opportunity to meet fans all the time, so she thinks maybe this is an opportunity for her to just simply meet herself also. But having this moment with Coloratura literally said that she knows that she has a crush on her. But Coloratura didn't even tell exactly how it's even possible. But Trixie realized in one part. Since Coloratura meets and greets a lot of fans all the time, and eventually some of the opponents may confess their feelings for her, but she almost turned them down. And after all, this might something happen to her daily basis, as she realized, and she could somehow read the signs of a opponent's face without them even realize it. So, at least that she was happy about it. And the next few days, when Trixie were in her office, a pony walked in and said that she had a visitor. Oh, I don't have any on my schedule, but who is it? I don't know. Should I let her in? Yeah, you can do that, said Trixie with a smile. And this pony walked in, and it was in somehow disguised. So, how can I help you with? And may I ask, what's your name? Oh, well, one of my friends calls me Rara. But my actual name is. Wait, Coloratura? Is that actually you? Said Trixie, shocked. Yep, that's me. But when are you here? And I mean, in the school of friendship. I thought you were probably in Manhattan during a performance or something. Actually, about that is that I'm actually taking a break from my performance for a while. What? Why? So I can spend time with the pony that I like. What? What do you mean? Well, if you give me some time to tell you, um, yeah, please. So Coloratura sat down and then she told a story why she likes Trixie so much. Well, you see, Trixie, a few years ago, when you were in Manhattan, you were doing one of your magical shows as a great and powerful Trixie. Yeah, I remember did for a performance there, and one of the ponies in your audience was actually me," said Coloratura with a smile. "Wait, you were?" "Well, I was in a disguise so no ponies would even recognize me. I mean, if some pony did recognize me, it will only cause a commotion in your performance, and I wouldn't would like to do that. I mean, that was not my first performance, me watching you perform. What? Yeah, that would be my fifth time I saw you. Wait, 5 times? What about the other four? I think 2 times in Trondheim, one in Baltimore, uh, and one of the last ones I can't remember exactly. So, what actually made you to like me? Well, after seeing you the second time, I was like, wow, she's amazing. Even though the Sony ponies somehow said that you were average magical performer or something like that, but I really liked you. And I decided I want to know more about you, so I decided to go to some of your performance, even knowing my own tight schedule. But I managed to have some break from time to time, and when I have the breaks, I try to figure out to learn more about you. I often read stories in the newspapers and even hired some ponies to look into you with more information. You had that happen? Well, I mean, like more about your personality, some more about your performance, what you like to do. Oh, you mean like a spy to look around you? Um, well, you kind of say like that, but you know, I didn't do that because to cause you any problem or anything. I mean, they only asked a few ponies that actually knew you, and and they just looked up more what you did. I mean, I know some of your bad past with your interactions with Twilight Sparkle. Oh, you heard about that? Yeah, especially the time when you took over Ponyville for a short time. Oh, you heard that? And there's a minor incident. Oh no, sweet Celestia, please don't you don't even want to know that one. I know what you were doing was a mistake. You thought that you were Twilight's rival and that she was bragging her for being powerful because that she was a Princess Celestia student. But in the end, she wasn't even doing any of that just to be bragging. Am I right? Yeah, you're right about that. So you went like me all after all that? Yeah, pretty much. But aren't you scared that this could have been causing a scandal, like over your reputation? Hmm, not really. I mean, I heard about a lot of police confessing feelings to me all the time lately, so it wouldn't be any difference. Yeah, that might be fair, but I'm not so sure if you would actually want to like to be with me. I mean, I'm an average pony. You're a celebrity, one of the biggest ones in Equestria. You know, I would even not saying like that, Trixie. I would simply just would go so far as retire as a singer so I can be with you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go that far, said Trixie. Well, I mean, I love you. So you really do that? Of course, I wouldn't lie. I mean, I wouldn't even go this far to meet you and telling lies and then turn out they were lies, wouldn't I? No, I mean, I don't see you that type of pony would even go so far. Exactly my point. So, I wanted to ask you something. Yeah? How about we go out? Out? On a date? Just at least one date. Promise? So we can see if there was actually a spark between us. If there's no connection, I won't bother you. Deal? Trixie thought that for a moment. And it was actually not a bad deal. After all, Trixie did love Coloratura that much. And even if she now had this Coloratura just admitted her own feelings for Trixie, so without knowing if this was actually could have been leading something to something big, or just simply just one-sided event. So she agreed. They decided to go to a restaurant nearby on Friday, because turned out Coloratura was actually staying in Ponyville for a whole week. But Trixie didn't even ask where she was staying. It was unlike she was just staying at some regular hotel, because that would cause some problems. But Coloratura said that she was actually staying at the castle. Starlight, who was now taking over the castle to live in, she had been informed, and Starlight actually has been aware of this all the while, at least about her feelings for Trixie, and she made a promise to not to be telling it. So when Trixie said yes, and later in the afternoon, when Trixie went to the castle to talk to Starlight, Starlight actually didn't deny any of that. She actually confirmed it actually happened. And in fact, when they were talking, who didn't walk in but Coloratura. So it turned out Coloratura actually loved Trixie. And Trixie had asked Coloratura if they've been dating. Would they have to keep their relationship a complete secret from the general public without causing any scandal? But Coloratura just told her, not really. They will still be open. She will be telling the public about her being dating a one particular mayor. After all, the public was now recently aware that Coloratura was actually into both mares and stallions. So it wouldn't be causing any sort of scandal if they saw her with a mare in romantic relationship. So at least that part of worries for Trixie was taken care of. But on the day on their first date, Trixie was really nervous how this would eventually turn out, because Coloratura was in a disguise, so she wouldn't be recognized. But at the beginning, Trixie was a little too nervous, and they had no idea. She didn't have an idea of what to talk about in their first date. After all, this was her very first date ever in her whole life. But during the dinner, it eventually slowly, Trixie felt more relaxed and more calm. And she really started to having a good time on their first date. And even afterwards, they went back to the castle. They were just having a good time. And Coloratura then asked Trixie if she wanted to go out again, and Trixie said yes to her surprise. Trixie did admit that she was really nervous at the beginning because she had no idea what to do on the date. Since even though she could have had asked Starlight and Sunburst for some ideas and advices for what to do on a date, but she just was too nervous even to ask. And she promised to have more ideas for next time. And since Coloratura was going to stay in Ponyville for about a week, they will have plenty of time to go on for a few more dates. And they actually did that. They went on picnics or just walked around in the outskirts just by themselves, or Trixie had performed a magical show just for Coloratura alone. But as the week came and went, Coloratura really had to go, even if she wanted to stay longer. But being a singer, she had a very tight schedule. Even her own manager had sent one of her workers to pick her up, and they promised to see each other soon enough. But Trixie knows that it might take a while before they can even see each other next time. Being one of the biggest singers in a kingdom, it might take her weeks maybe a few months until she'd be able to see her next time. But during this time, though, Trixie and Coloratura remained in contact by letters. And one day of surprise, Trixie got an invitation from Coloratura to see her in Manhattan. Trixie didn't hesitate. She told Starlight she's gonna take a 1 week time off from work, and Starlight had no problem with it. She said that she will find some pony that can take over the role meanwhile. So Trixie took the train all the way to Manhattan. She was actually greeted by Coloratura's new manager at the station, which took her to a small building in the middle of town, which turned out to be Coloratura's home. When she saw her, Coloratura gave her one of the biggest hugs, and they actually even gave each other a big kiss. They actually walked into this big living room space. They were just talking, having some tea, and they just haven't seen each other in a while now. So, Trixie, how is things back home? Oh, busy all the time, helping students, friends, and all that. I don't even have to ask you, though. Nope, you don't really have to. My life is always busy, though. Yeah, I heard that you're going on a new tour soon. I don't remember where. Ah, that would be Central Arabia, and next would be Grafstone. Um, see Baltimore as the final place in those 3 places, though, for my tour. I wish that we can see each other more often. Or at least don't have to hide our relationship. We don't really have to. I can always just announce that I have a partner, and we can announce who it is. Well, do you think your manager would have been okay with that? And the manager who actually just walked in and who overheard this conversation, he said, well, I want to see my client happy, and she might be right about one thing. It could be lead a scandal, but I'm ready to stand up for my client and one of my biggest clients ever. And she's right. I can't see my own client unhappy if she hasn't had to hide her own relationship for all the general public. But, even if we didn't do that, and if she was spotted with me overall a few times, police would probably start spreading rumors about her having a girlfriend, even if there's some police like, oh no, that's not possible, she has some pony already. Why would she have to keep it a secret from her own fans? And if they find out that what's true, they will feel betrayed and they probably start leaving her. But if she comes out first to announcing that she had a special son pony and is actually a mare, I mean, they know that she likes both genders by now. And if they know about her having a girlfriend, and if it's me, they probably at least be happy and under complete understanding if she was the one that coming out to telling this information rather from her hearing it from rumors. Coloratura nodded and said that that's actually is a good point. So the manager Taylor said that she will have this interview and it will have it taken care of. So the rest of the time, Trixie and Coloratura had just a great time. They even cooked dinner together, even though that Coloratura have her own chef, but she wanted to cook her own dinner for once. And a few days later, Coloratura was invited for this interview, and it was over in a press conference in local park. Trixie was there as well, but she was backstage so that no opponents could see her. When Coloratura announced that every pony had often asked her if she has some special sub pony in her life, but she often said no, but that's no longer in the case, she said. Because now she has some pony. A lot of the fans and the journalists actually started being almost asking almost at once to who it is. When before she answered the question, she said that since she revealed that she likes both mares and stallions recently, and this particular partner of hers is a mare. Then she announced her to come out from the backstage. When the journalist saw it was Trixie, ponies went silent. It was one thing that Trixie was expecting. Maybe the fans start yelling at her, just telling her to leave their big fan, their biggest singer alone, and just find someone else. But instead, it was completely opposite. Trixie was actually praised, valued, was really had this gratitude in her heart when suddenly when the fans started saying, "Take care of our biggest singer, Trixie Lulamoon," they said. And even afterwards, a journalist even asked Trixie, how does it feel to be dating one of the biggest singers in Equestria? Trixie was at first nervous, of course. But when she said, well, it's, I mean, it's really hard to describe what it feels like, but dating her, I mean, I would have been dating her even if she wasn't a big singer, but, well, I have to say, it feels like an honor being able to date someone that I really like. I mean, I was expecting some of the fans may just, feel betrayed, angry, and telling me to just back off, to leave her alone. But I was just happy to be with her since I really love her. She's one of the biggest opponents that I really adore, and she's the most amazing. When Trixie said this, Coloratura started crying of joy. Afterwards, Coloratura had a small brief statement saying that from now on, Trixie will always be her special sun pony. And if fans can't accept her as being, she may have to be stepping down as one of those singers and retire. Some of the fans demanded not that to be that she shouldn't do that because of some fans' reaction. She should be happy with the pony that she loves most of all. And of course, both Trixie and Coloratura thanked them for this. Afterward, they went back to her place and Trixie like, phew, at least good that part is taken care of. Yep, you don't have to be worried now to hiding this relationship now in public. Yeah, at least that one don't have to be to worry, and that you don't have to disguise yourself. Good point. After that, she was just happy that they had the support of her fans and, of course, of Coloratura's manager. Now, eventually, the whole kingdom became one aware of Trixie and Coloratura's relationship. But as long as they were happy to be with the one they loved the most, they didn't mind if there's only fans that didn't like or support this. But as long as they have a lot of support from fans and friends and families, they didn't mind. And even so, it happened that Trixie was unable to see Coloratura from time to time due to her fact being one of the biggest singer in Equestria. Sometimes she could have been away from a few weeks to at least a max of time of 3 months. And during that time, if she is away for a few weeks or even as 3 months, she isn't unable to even reach her. Because the letters that Trixie would send to Coloratura, they would arrive to her house. And she wouldn't been able to answer those letters back though. And there were times that even during when she were on these tours, it is in the beginning that Trixie started wondering if Coloratura would eventually forget about her and find someone else. When she did mention this to Applejack one time, Applejack said firmly not to worry about it. Coloratura is not the type of pony that would just simply move on from one pony to another if she got bored or something. If she really loved someone so that much, she would stay with them, no matter what ever takes. And even though that Trixie told her friends that she just sometimes wished she could have been with Coloratura more often, Trixie is always happy to be able to spend some time with Coloratura, no matter how much time they are apart. And after they've been together for 3 years, Trixie had invited Coloratura to Ponyville to spend time and also celebrate their third anniversary to being together. But one thing that Coloratura didn't know, she was having something else going to happen in her life that day. It turned out Trixie proposed to Coloratura, and she said yes immediately. When they were in the restaurant, every pony there, including guests and the staff, started cheering for this. This was one of the biggest news ever in a while there. And of course, Trixie had asked Starlight to be her maid of honor. And of course, without a doubt, Coloratura had asked her oldest friend, Applejack, to be her maid of honor. And both had asked Twilight to be the one to perform the ceremony, which she said yes. They decided to have the ceremony in Camelot. And at the wedding party afterwards, which Pinkie had arranged, every pony could see how happy both were together, especially when they were sharing the first dance together. It was one of the best times ever. After all, Trixie and Coloratura couldn't be happier, and eventually they went to Crystal Empire for 2 weeks as their honeymoon. There, they just had us a great time, enjoying some of the Crystal Empire's luxury spas, even watching some performance and having romantic dinners at sunset. It was just one of the best times. And after being to get married for about 2 years, they wanted to start their own family. So they asked Twilight if she wanted to help them. And she would be gladly to be helping her friends to do that. Trixie chose to be pregnant first. And when they learned they were expecting their first child within a few months, and it was in fact a daughter, when they told this to their friends and families, every pony was just beyond happy. They were really excited about this. They even had picked a name for this, their daughter. And then the day came when the daughter was born. They named the daughter Sparkle Ruby. Sparkle Ruby was really energetic as a young child. She loved to listen to her mom, Coloratura, singing, and, of course, her own mom, Trixie, on magical performance. Like her mother, she was very talented in magic. And in fact, she was even so gifted that she was approved to join School of Gifted Unicorns in Camelot. But her dream was that she wanted to be a jeweler one day. And when she was old enough, she actually moved to Baltimore and opened her own jewelry store, and it actually became a success. Eventually, she did end up marrying a stallion who worked as a teacher, and they later had 2 daughters of their own though, and they were both happy about it. 2 years later, Coloratura had her own daughter, which they named Lily Violin. She was very energetic as a child herself. She loved music. It was a passion of her after hearing her own mom singing so much. She wanted to either be a singer or performer one herself. But after time, she eventually changed her mind that she wanted to be a music teacher. She wanted to continue to spread the joy and the love of music to the public. She wanted to teach music to the next generation. When she was old enough, she went to school for doing that. She eventually finished it, and she even opened her own music school in Manhattan. Eventually, she did end up marrying a stallion who worked as a doctor, and they had 2 daughters together. After all this time, Coloratura was just really happy that she did admit her feelings for Trixie. And Trixie, she was really happy and a bit surprised that Coloratura could tell that she were in love with her too. But no matter what happened or what they faced together, they always faced it together. They always win their love, always beat any obstacle they had in their path. And this is how Trixie Lulamoon and Coloratura found a true love, got a big family together. The end.